guys. So for my cultural communication speech, I decided to do it over Venezuela. So Venezuela is a country in South America that borders the Caribbean and the North Atlantic Sea. The population is about 28 million people, which they just did a study about that in 2020 because their poverty rate is extremely high for that amount of people in a country. Their poverty rate is at 94%, and their extreme poverty rate is about 64%. The currency that they use is called Bolivar, or the Venezuela Bolivar. It's based off one of their Latin American heroes for independence. So for their currency, $100 in the United States is about $788, give or take, in Venezuela. So their government that they have is they have a president. He's both the head of state and the head of government. And right now their president is Nicolas Maros, which he's very well liked by some and very well not liked by others. But I feel like some important things that you should know about the country is it's a primarily Spanish-speaking country, which is be something I would struggle with if I went there. The language barrier, I feel like, is a very big communication barrier because it's really hard to communicate with somebody if you don't know the language. If I ever went there, I would really want to hire like a guide, or I would want to be able to learn the language so I would be able to communicate more effectively. Some of the cultural differences that I know that we have the United States and Venezuela is in Venezuela, it is very much rude to talk about someone negatively while they're there or respond to someone in a negatively manner in front of people. They prefer to do that behind doors because they view it as being rude and crude, where as here in the United States, that's not as much of a problem. People really say what they want. Another thing is in Venezuela, they have a very high superstition about their folklores and their superstitions. They don't talk about it, not even really in private. They view it as more of like a sanctified thing, so they don't really want to talk about that openly. They feel like it defeats the purpose of those spiritual beliefs and folklores. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about in Venezuela is they have this nonverbal communication that I feel like we have in somewhat in the United States, is when they're trying to show like affirmation or show that they're listening or like anything like that, they'll nudge you with their arms or their legs, or they'll put their hands on your shoulders to be able to communicate more effectively. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the main thing. But there are more collectivists than individualists, which I guess you can say is a little bit different from the United States because they focus more on the side of classes. So in Venezuela, the higher the class you have such power because a lot of the people in Venezuela are poor. So those that do have money and they have power in return for that. So, but anyways, I feel like this was a really good opportunity to learn about another country, especially because I'm in missions and I love to go to other countries and I want to go to other countries. And Venezuela is one that I would love to be able to go to. And I feel like this kind of gave me a preparation for what to expect when I go to Venezuela. So, yeah.